on my page, and not a lot, but you'll see that more than me being negative, because I never felt the need to do that, because one, I don't stay angry long enough to do stuff like that. But in this situation, I felt some kind of way about two individuals, two different parties who I felt took my kindness for a weakness. And I'm a person, I'm always aware and very mindful of how I treat other people, because I don't want, not so much, I don't care what people think about me, but professionally, I try to be very professional at all times. And I fall short sometimes, and I'm not perfect. And I sometimes get into my own crazy, creative, Nate self. And I could be a little, standoffish, but that's who I am. I don't put that on other people, and I don't ask other people to be that. But for me, I had to write the message because I was feeling very negative about these two individuals. And I tagged them in the post because I wanted them to know what they had did. You can't just keep beating up on people and not expect for them to say something. I don't subscribe to that notion of everything is bullying, but that's a form of bullying.
It is.
And I don't get bullied. You're not gonna bully me, because when I feel like you're really like, it's people who get over. That's how they spend their life, getting over. But when you get over with somebody who is already giving you,
right,
and already being generous to you, that's when I normally step in, and I have an issue in my own personal life when people do that. And those two individuals, I could care less. I really could, how you personally feel about me, but professionally, you can never say I was anything less but the best for you. And most people in my life can say that, if not everybody who's ever crossed my path. Now, I've been becoming this honest person that tell you how I feel, regardless of how I think you're going to handle it. But that's just who I am. And I don't pull any cards. And anybody who crossed my path, young, old, male, female, they'll let you know that I'll at least be upfront with you. Sometimes I am mindful of people's personalities and their like feelings. So I won't say things to hurt you, but I'll give you the honest, especially if you ask me. Don't ask me for the truth, because then I'm gonna give it to you, because I want the same in return. And I see how sometimes people don't do it. I don't know if people think I'm sensitive, but I definitely don't think people think I can handle being honest with me. And I wrote that message on my page only because today's show is really about building a following, and you can't build a following when you're not being upfront and just generally good to people.
Yes.
Just be good to people, and be honest with them. Don't lie to me about money. Don't lie to me about or do that switching roles thing where you're putting your insecurities or your shortcomings onto me, because you can't handle who you are or what you have in store. We have an awesome guest today, Miss Cheryl Goodman. She comes from a very dance background. Her sister is Lori Goodman. She works at, I'm not saying what she works at, but she's a choreographer. I actually met your girl Cheryl. We went to the same church for a small point, and I just realized it and asking her to come on. So she'll be joining us today. She does a lot of event planning, and she connects and networks, and she does like a jazz show. She has her own show on WEAA.
Okay.
She sits in for a lot of the programs when I guess the hosts are out. So she's going to come on and share some of who she is with us. She'll be here in probably the second or third segment, so definitely look out for that. Give us a call today, 410-702-5657, or you can text us at 443-642-9403. Shouting out two of our sponsors today, True to You Entertainment, Purple Potion, Miss Chink, OTR. She has a new mixtape out. She's a very young. I got to meet her this week. Very young. She's 15.
Oh, yay.
She put out a mixtape. Only because she wants to get her feet wet. She's going to put out another one to learn from the mistakes she made on the first one. She's very open, very aware of what her faults are, her flaws are, and she's ready to make a difference and, really really make a mark for herself. We talked about a little scooter. We talked about a lot of stuff. She came in and did a promo for her album,
Nice.
and it really was nice meeting her. She was very young, and I see what happens when you creative and you that young, and you have people around you that are encouraging you.
That's nice.
So she doesn't have a lot of people that's lying to her around her, but they're just very encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Miss Chink, OTR, Purple Passion from True to You Entertainment. Also, our second sponsor is from the Fashion Umbrella Foundation. They have an educational honors award ceremony, and unfortunately, the polls have closed. Not polls, but it's closed. You can no longer register to be a part of the 2016 educational honors. This honors is an award that is focused on young people in the arts and STEM that have an interest and a passion for the arts and STEM. So check them out. You can go to the www.fashionumbrella.org, or you can email them at info@thefashionumbrella.org and get more information on tickets and the dates of the events, so on and so forth. But back to my gripe. And it's crazy because I've been getting into like Facebook arguments with people because my opinions are just that, my opinion. I don't expect for you,
right?
If Marty likes to wear his hair crimped up, I can't say anything about that. I have an opinion, but it's my opinion. It doesn't make his hair less crimpy if I don't like it.
My hair is wavy. Let's get that straight.
Monty has joined us from the Dominican.
From the Dominican.
He's back, fresh off the beaches. If you didn't know, you should just go to his page and look at all his various video clips that he was sharing
you had
with
a
us.
good time.
Yeah.
So what did you did you meet anyone? Several
from requests.
Oh yay!
We're going back in December for New Year's.
Are you inviting anyone?
Sure, it's open to as many people that want to go. The Emotions Resort is amazing.
Yeah,
You just saying that.
I'm actually.
It was beautiful. I really enjoyed.
It's amazing. I mean, it was better than even one of the top rated ones.
So is that where we're celebrating the 10 years of Be Exposed?
Hell no. Yeah, if you get your old ticket, we can celebrate down there. No, like Be Live is one of the popular hotels down there. Everybody that got back on the bus when we was on our way back was like, I hated it. We hated it. They was like, how you like Emotions? It was amazing. They treated us like kings and queens. Like my friend that went with me, she won Miss Emotions 2016. First night we got there, that Thursday. She won. I pushed her up there to do the contest and won. Nice. Treated her amazingly. We got free massages. I was already getting one, but I got it for free.
Right.
Brought us drinks everywhere we went, and I mean everything was all inclusive. But we was getting waited on hand and foot.
Right.
Everybody on the beach wanted to touch us. Like, oh, you're real. Like,
So that's what we're gonna hear more about Emotions on Tuesday on the Talk Lately show.
You will.
With Monty and his waves.
Does that look like a ball spot?
What?
Ooh. We have another one. That
you see it?
You see reality check?
Yeah.
No, it's
it looks like a part.
Yeah,
it looks like a part.
Oh, it's not supposed to be no parts. No,
yeah, it's probably just a part. We're going to say it's just a part.
It ain't no ball spot. I promise you. Look at that. Look under there.
It does look like it.
It does look like a ball spot, don't it?
Yeah.
That's where my part was. Going down the middle.
Okay. Men just can't let it go. It's very hard for men to just let it go. It's cool though. It's cool. They got man weaves now.
Yes, they do.
All this hair.
Okay. So you
braid my hair and everything down there. Like, don't touch me.
That's a job down there. That's what happens.
Right on the beach.
Yeah.
People's getting massages on the beach. I said that's so unsanitary. Where the water at?
You don't need water. I mean, that's what they do.
You need a bath first. You just got off the salt water.
That's the perfect time to get
You
one.
need to go take a shower and then put the oils on.
And then you're nice and relaxed, and you're getting a nice bathtub.
It just looked like they had calluses, and I just couldn't.
Because they've been massaging salty people all day.
And I just thought it would be uncomfortable. Rough skin, rough hands all over my body.
Well, some people like that.
I was going to say.
My hair was shiny. That's all it was.
That sounds kind of awesome.
I was tempted. She was like, "How can I massage your feet?" Then pedicure. I was like, "You tried it first."
That could have been an exfoliation.
I was like, "You tried it
right.
first."
Definitely that.
One, I got a pedicure before I got here, and two, you're not doing it right here. What you got? What you gonna use? She was like, "Just oil." No, that's not a pedicure.
Oh yeah, that's just a massage. She just said this massage.
She was just going to massage my foot, right? With some of that oil that I don't know where it came from, cut fresh from a coconut.
He is so. You know that coconut oil is that business, though.
It is.
So shout out to Christian. Shout out to my boo Franklin. Yoel. I'm trying to.
He went all the way to the Dominican Republic and became sociable.
Suddenly, he's a nice guy. That's because none of those people ever come into his house. They don't live here.
Oh yeah.
Bienvenido.
Bienvenido.
His name was Bienvenido.
Oh, that's his name.
Bienvenido.
But his name was Bienvenido.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was somebody there named Bienvenido though too.
Yeah.
Actually, I seen that on a sign, like on a street name.
There's some names that I've known more than one person who had the name Bienvenido.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, your name got too much going on. Can I just call you Bien?
How you gonna short somebody that's already?
I mean, the same way people used to shorten my 3-letter name to 2.
But they so welcome to the Artist Exchange. Give us a call 410-702-5657, or you can text us at 443-642-9403. Don't forget, if you're just tuning into our website, you can also tune into YouTube and see us. Be able to hear us and look at my pretty. I'm gonna try to wear another piece of jewelry each day, but I gotta scoot up to the table because I don't want my stomach. I'm in.
Oh my gosh!
I'm in kind of transition. The shirt was kind of snug. I've been hanging my clothes up. I like to air dry my clothes. But I use the dryer, and the fibers kind of
tightened.
Yeah. So all my shorts were a little snug.
A little bit.
But welcome to the Artist Exchange. I am Nate Vashti Blue Couser, your host, with my co-host, Miss Amma Brown.
What's up?
She's been doing her makeup thing recently. She have pearls on today, so that means it's serious.
I started to feel good about myself, I guess. Yeah, when the sun comes out, I do too.
She got her legs out and her pearls on and her makeup on with lipstick and a little eye detail.
All my jewelry came from the Dominican.
He stole all that,
probably.
Or anything's possible. Today's show is on building a following. How do we build fans? How do we build a following when you're trying to pursue any type of business, or if we're artists?
As actors, we definitely have to have fans.
Yeah.
It's the only way we get cast.
Especially in theater.
The more people you can put in seats, the more often people will cast you.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's a very important and something that we are learning as we go along. You have to build and maintain that following. And one of the big things that I always push is engagement and learning how to really relate with individuals. That's kind of what me and Tink were talking about, and her being so young right now, you can formulate the people who you want to be your steadfast followers. So we're going to go to a quick break, but before we do, don't forget to, on Saturday, actually, July the 16th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., the Be Exposed Open House here, live at 110 East Lexington Street, Suite 200. We'll be following that with a happy hour at Rumba Tropical. Unfortunately, I won't be there this time.
No, I won't either.
My mom's birthday is actually on the 16th.
Oh, you set this up?
I did. I'm coming to the open house. You're gonna see me there bright and early. But I'm gonna spend
it in New Orleans on the 16th. It's my first time going to New Orleans.
This is the second happy. Open House you gonna miss?
I missed in a row. That's very true.
He keeping score. Just letting you know.
I'm letting everybody.
I don't know. I was at the happy hour. I was at the whatchamacallit, just was not at the happy hour.
You actually were at the open house.
I was at the open house. Yes, I was there.
I take that back.
You right?
Keeping score. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Check us out, www.BeExposedRadio.com. Be there or be square. We'll be right back.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's going to wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's going to happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shout-outs to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Check out this flashback on Gangsta Goddess Radio Show.
You are true to yourself. You walk that, and you walk it with your head up, because yes, I have this gangster in me. I can do this. I will persevere. I will keep moving. We have Black women who are dealing with mental issues. We have Black women who are dealing with health issues. We have Black women who are dealing with self-esteem issues. We have Black women who are just dealing with issues, child. So as you try to figure out, why am I here? What's my purpose? And that can bring you down. And you have to find that, oh no, you gotta be gangster enough to say, oh no, boo-boo, not today. You will not get me. I am here. I can take a punch and keep it moving. But I can also give one. Don't get it twisted. And then go in and fix my makeup. Get the lip gloss popping, put the wrap on, and keep it moving. So that is that gangster goddess. That's where I find the balance. So you have to know when to bring it out, each side, because I can give it to you either way, because I am Mother of Truth. You're the unicorn, you're magical Negro, you're gangster goddess, and I am here. So thank you so much for your question. Feel free to text us again, and the number is 443-642-9403. But I hope we answered that for you.
For this and more, be sure to tune in to Gangsta Goddess Radio Show every Tuesday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah.
I always go to them. I'll go to the day of.
I did something similar on the Charm City Circulators a few years ago. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, the people dancing it are fun, and the people watching it are fun. So.
Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Today we have in the building your girl, Cheryl, who's always giving us the ins and outs of what's going on in this awesome DMV area, because you do events throughout the DMV area. She is a dancer. She's a radio show host. She's a... Can we say philanthropist? Because she's just out there.
Okay. A philosophical philanthropist. All right.
So let us know a little bit about who you are, your background.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, I've only been your girl Cheryl for a couple of years. I had to ask my niece if that was okay to call myself that, or did that sound phony? She was like, "No, Cheryl, that's okay." But I've lived in Baltimore all my life and have always been concerned when people say there's nothing to do here. And I know that that's not really true.
Nope. Not at all.
So I just sort of started looking into that. Right. And you're right, I do a little bit of a lot of things. I've been producing shows here, music. I primarily work in the area of music and dance.
Known for those jazz concerts in the park.
Right. We were doing that for the last 5 years. I was doing a jazz series at Silburn Arboretum called Jazz Under the Stars. And it just got a little bit too popular. So last year we had like 800 to 1,000 people showing up at every show. So this year the Arboretum was like, okay, no, that's enough of that.
Right. We can't do that. Thank you, but no.
Yeah, that was nice. So we have to regroup. So, they're thinking about whether we're going to continue it. But it was a very nice gathering. People, I think, liked it because older people, I think, felt like it was an activity for them.
Yeah.
It was a quieter kind of, a lot of festivals, music series that go on in this area get very festival-like. And this was in the Arboretum, so it was sort of quiet and during the week, and so people liked it. But
it was something else to do other than go to a nightclub.
Right. So people like that. But I've done jazz series at the Baltimore Museum of Art, the Jazz and the Sculpture Garden series. I started that years ago. And also in the DC area and up and down the East Coast. And then I produce shows at the E.B. Blake Center, and I've worked with a number of organizations in the city, from the Hippodrome Theater to the BSO to the U.B. Blake Center Arena Players, and usually have done either programming for them, creating the shows or the activities that they do, or writing grants to help them fund those kinds of things, or I try not to be on board of directors. That's a little bit too
grown up.
That's it is. Right. That's
too much real.
Right. It's too stepping back a little bit. So I like to be sort of in the mix a little bit more. And at WEAA, I started being your girl, Cheryl, about 4 years ago. I was writing grants for them, for the organization. It's a public radio station.
Right.
And they needed someone to read a calendar. They just wanted to have a calendar. And so I was sitting across the table, so the paper got passed to me. And
in right place in the right time.
Right. And my background, my actual degree is in writing, and I could see in the calendar that it could have been a little bit peppier, I guess, and things like that. So I just added my flavor to it a little bit, and like I said, got the name. And so that's what we've been doing.
So if we about to close out this segment, but where can people find you if they need your services? Or...
Oh, well, my email address is yourgirlcheryl.net. And you can also find me on Facebook, What's Hot with Your Girl, Cheryl. I had started a nonprofit organization in dance a couple years ago, and we do flash mobs and free classes for anybody, adults. We do mainly adults who want to dance.
And you have a Prince one coming up.
Right. We're doing a Prince tribute. So if anyone wants to join the Prince flash mob, they can go to dancebaltimore.org or the UB Blake Center. We're there on Tuesday nights getting ready. You can learn the routine in one class. And that's all you need.
I don't know if she's gonna be.
Yeah, no, look, we've had some very rhythmically challenged folks, so
you got to make it keep it simple.
That's right. That's what we've learned over the years.
Choreography.
That's right. And we have a video, so we send you the video after class, so you can practice. So, like I said, I do a lot of things. But if you just follow me on Facebook or on the website, and the new magazine is What's Hot in the DMV. It's a digital magazine. You can see it on your radio, on your cell phone, on your computer. See video in the magazine, and it highlights artists in the area.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with your girl Cheryl when we return from this break to the Artist Exchange on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Get out to the forest and discover the wonders of nature with your family, just like Blue, Jewel, and the whole Rio flock.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Let's rock this jungle.
Yeah!
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning.
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great.
And endless surprises.
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing.
Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to.
Then what you're going to do is turn onto Marcy Avenue.
Just broke up
and go past the first 3 lights and then take the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back. Jabril has found us a jazzy, classical version of a Michael Jackson standard. But we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with your girl Cheryl as our guest today. Today's topic is actually building a following. And I see, so you're not really the event planner, but you kind of come in and coordinate as need be?
No, actually, both.
Okay.
I do event planning.
Okay.
I've done everything from planning weddings to, like I said, a music series. I've done jazz concerts in New York and DC, North Carolina, things like that. But then also people might hire me to just market something.
Okay.
I've been hired by organizations like, for example, an organization with a primarily white audience in Annapolis, and they wanted to diversify their audience because they're sitting in a community that's really more mixed. So they might hire me to come in and do that. So, so it's a variety of things that all around that.
When
area.
Connecting that with today's topic and building a following, how have you been able to cultivate that? Because I know that jazz series. I took my grandmother a couple of times, and I saw it grow over the time that I went, and it was sporadic when I actually got to go, but I saw it grow. How do you, or what advice would you give to younger artists or just people in general who want to build that following? Because that takes trust in your creativity and who you're bringing on for people to continually grow and bring more people, because people were bringing people. It was like groups coming.
Right. Well, so I think it's a very multifaceted kind of effort. And it's different depending on what topic or area you're in. But primarily, I think you first of all have to start with a really good product. And so I always made sure that the artists performing on the stage were the best artists that were available. Because if they don't do a good show, it doesn't matter how many people you bring, people are not going to come back. They're going to talk about you. They saw, you don't want to do
quality.
Right. So the quality of what you do has to be on point, first of all. And then you have to know the audience that you want to attract, who would be interested. And that's sort of your own. You have to be aware enough to say what age group would be interested, what racial background, what economic, where do the people live, things like that. With the jazz series, when we started, it was created specifically to bring an audience to the Arboretum because they really didn't have any. I used to, years ago, I used to live across the street from there. And I would go there. Well, no, across from Sinai. Hospital.
I know. Yeah,
right. Okay. I lived off of Green Spring. And I would go there and no one would ever be there. I mean, it was beautiful, it was nice, but no one was ever there. But it's a public park, so your tax dollars are paying for that.
Right.
So, so I thought, well, okay, people should be able to enjoy this. And then they closed for a while to do some renovations, and they had a grand opening. And nobody was at the grand opening. I mean, not hardly. It wasn't really a lot of people. And I thought that was odd. So I went to them directly and said, would you be
interested
interested
in the heart of
right,
the city
exactly,
like
being right in the community like that? And I said, I think I can build your audience for you. Would you be interested in this? You don't have to do any work. I'll do the planning and everything. I'll write the grant to have it funded. And so we agreed into a collaboration to do that. And so they just provided the space. So when we started, I would say maybe the first year, about 250 people were coming. It was a series every other week, every other Wednesday evening. And so by the time we finished, like I said, there were almost 1,000 people coming by the 5th year. But in addition to having really great artists, I had to create a particular kind of experience for people. And then, like I said, figure out who would come. So it was an older audience who liked it. Generally people in that community, because you wanted it to be a community-based thing, even though people were coming from all over. And so you have to make sure that they know about it. So how do people who of the age group and the area, how do they get their information? You know, you can say, well, they read this newspaper, this newspaper exists, or this radio, but is that who they listen to? If they don't, you know, I mean, you can say go on social media, but if people over the age of 60 don't go on Facebook, then then don't use Facebook. So you have to, you know, pay attention to the audience you want to have and figure out how they get their information. And people have to feel good about the experience. So it's not just how good is the music, but do I feel safe there? Do I enjoy going there? You know, so everything from the vendors that were there, we picked certain kinds of vendors that would lend to the kind of atmosphere we wanted. And there was an organization that they do not candy bars, health bars, called the Kind Bar, and they do a lot of donating. And they wanted to donate the Kind Bar to, and they just would give out, you know, health food. But it connected because, again, that's the kind of event we were trying to create.
And the people that you had come.
We decided to have outdoor. We had a caterer where you could buy your food, but we decided to have them cook out. So they had a grill and they had, it was like being at a big cookout. So you program it to be something that the audience you wants to see. And then you get the information out to them in a very consistent way and in a way that, you know, they read it. So
can you speak on consistency? Because sometimes we'll do something like that and you get all your ducks in a line, but it just didn't jump off the first time. And most people like, you know what? I'm not doing that.
Well, in addition to consistency, it's preparation. A lot of people don't plan far enough in advance. And a week before the event, they want to put out a press release or send out a flyer. And that's really too late. People make their plans and different groups of people make them differently. When I lived in DC and I did events, you know, here where you might announce an event a month and a half ahead of time, in DC you do it 3 weeks because there's so much going in DC. If you promote it too far in advance, it gets lost in the shuffle. So you have to know where you are and how, you know, how your audience receives information. So and everything has to be consistent. It has to look quality. So the flyers and the posters we put out, a professional graphic designer does that. Make sure it's bold and attractive so people pay attention and you can read it and you can find how much it's going to be and how you get your ticket. So the fact that it was free was prominent. You want to make sure people know that it's free. And it was consistent. So when they saw it, even though each week was a different artist, the flyer had a certain look to it. So you knew what it was. And then I think I gave it a certain amount of consistency because as your girl, Cheryl, I was hosting it. So I was always the face that was there. And so as people would come up the hill, you know, they would come over to me. Hey, your girl, Cheryl. You know, I don't know why people point at me a lot. My girl, Cheryl. Your girl, I don't know what that is.
The name, the title.
It makes you say that? Is that what it is? Yeah. But, you know, I like that a lot. It's I find that really
that's your brand. That's how your brand came.
And I did not start off to do that. That was not my intention. But as it's been growing, it feels very nice. So I sort of go with it. And I talk about the events all the time, wherever I go. So there's a consistency there. But I think there are a lot of things that I just see people don't take the time to plan or to brand themselves or to brand the activity or any of that. I think they sort of shoot out there and do things and, you know, like you said, and they'll sort of throw it against the wall, see if it's going to stick. And
was this something that you, like, as far as branding yourself, was it something that you said, oh, well, this is what it is, so let me focus on this, or was it something that you planned as you grew?
No, like because even being on the radio at WEAA was not a plan.
Right.
You know, I didn't have any radio background.
Mm-hmm.
I had some television background, but even that, I didn't study for that either. That really came about the same way.
She has been lucky.
Yeah, I really have been in certain, but they always
Luck
say about
favors the
that.
prepared.
Right, you have to be prepared when it comes to you.
Right.
I was working at BET, and I was choosing the artists who were going to go on a show. It was a show similar to American Idol.
Okay.
It was called Bet on Jazz. And jazz artists would send in videotapes of their performances, and then a panel would critique it, and it would always be a producer, a record label person, A&R person, and like a producer kind of person. And so year after year, the other panelists were being meaner and meaner to the artists, so they kept getting rid of them. Right, they were like, you know what, that Simon Cowell kind of thing, but back then it wasn't popular, so they kept firing people. So finally one time they just said, Cheryl, you got to go on the air, go do that. And I wound up being kinder, gentler commentator, and I wound up being on the show for 4 years.
Oh wow!
And which was very nice. I mean, I met a lot of big name jazz artists that way, and but again, I didn't plan to do that. It just happened. But and
you
at
were
first,
prepared for it.
and didn't really want to at first because I really was not.
That's not about God.
It really, no. And even my mother used to say, "I don't know how you got on television." That's the last thing I would expect you to do, because I was very shy when I was
Did
younger.
it bring it out of you?
Oh
or?
yeah. You know, after a while, you do what you got to do.
Broke out of the shell.
Yeah, really, you do. You know, when you see it's an opportunity, you take it and you do as much with it as you can.
So, okay, we spoke on consistency, but and preparation of the event or anything that you're doing. But how about Baltimore has a bad reputation for people not consistently supporting. We have a 2-year rule. Most things in the city don't last past 2 years. And that's in you building and creating and having a fan base. And then after 2 years, it dwindles off. How do you think Baltimore can rebuild that image of who we are with all the talent that is here now?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. First of all, you have to be serious about what you're doing. You have to have the interest and the passion to do it. So 2 years shouldn't deter you.
Right.
Even if it slumps, that shouldn't deter you. You have to be willing to put in the time. It's up and downs for anything. And people need to not be cheap. Spend your money. Everything is not on Facebook. Right. You have to invest in it. Right. And you have to build relationships with people. So everything is not just, like I said, now, and I keep saying Facebook, but people think if they put it on Facebook, that's enough, and it's really not. There's so much more.
Because who's not seeing that?
Right. There are a lot of people who don't see that, and Facebook, believe it or not, when Facebook started, it was more this thing where you could talk to your friends and everybody would see everything.
College students.
Right. But, you know, I've been to some seminars and on Facebook, and they tell you this is a business. Facebook is trying to make money. So if you don't buy ads, they're not trying to show your pictures and share your information. So all your friends are not seeing everything you post, anything like that, you know. So it might have been more of that before. But unless you're spending money with Facebook, they're sort of limiting what it is you can see and do.
Right.
But to go back to your issue about things not lasting, I think if your passion is there and you have to, this is the other thing, you have to figure out a way to address what people want, not what you want to do. People have a tendency to do what they want to do. The audience is in charge.
Right.
So, and when they say that thing, the customer's always right, they are. So if the audience wants to do this, like for example, with the dance organization I have, when it started, the plan was that this organization was going to bring in companies like Alvin Ailey and, you know, all do these other things. And one part of it was to involve the community in dance. But as we got started, that part grew more than anything else. That became clear that the community wanted to dance. So that's become the bigger thing. So now we do a lot of free classes for adults. We do a lot of fun classes that you don't have to be a dance. You don't have to be Misty Copeland. You can just, whatever you know to shake, that's what you get to shake. So it could be the flash mobs. We do Thriller every year. From Michael Jackson's birthday to Halloween, I teach, usually I wind up teaching it. I teach Thriller, and then we get dressed up like zombies zombies and go dance it out in some.
Well, we know what we're doing.
Yes. And then I think we did it in Fells Point last year. We've done it at Silver Arboretum for kids at a kids party, but I think we scared them to death.
Oh, wow.
I think because it was a little dark.
lot,
we came out of the bushes. I think that really freaked them out.
That is hilarious.
It really was. But see, I don't have kids, you know.
I'm evil.
Right, so,
That
right,
was great.
exactly. So a lot of dead looking, you know, so that wasn't. But
I wish
you know,
I could have seen that.
yeah.
Okay.
So and we've done that a couple times. But you know what the audience wants. So a lot of times I'll hear, particularly jazz artists, say, "Come out and support the music." And I don't think that's why people go out. They're not going out to support the music. They're going out to have a good time. So some kind of way you have to let people know they're going to have a good time at this thing.
Right.
So what is it you need to show? You know, do you have to put a little film clip of something out there, a little video clip? Do you have to put photos that show the audience enjoying it?
Right.
Do you have to, I mean, there's something you have to do to figure out. Right. But the whole experience has to be something, and no matter what it is, whether it's a dance concert, a jazz performance, you know, a spoken word thing, I shouldn't say thing, but a spoken word event. But whatever it is, as the event planner and the marketer, you have to make sure that the audience knows they're going to have a great time.
And it goes beyond me just, like, we are in theater. So we rehearse. The show is put together. We sell the tickets, and then that's it. But it has to be an atmosphere that you create that make people want to stay and come back and tell people to come.
Right. So when you said that's it, technically that's not really it. Because when it's over, I mean, there should have been somebody collecting email addresses or phone numbers or some kind of way the people who were here need to be contacted, because now this is your audience base.
Right.
And so if you don't have a mailing list, if you're an artist and you don't have a mailing list, then there's something wrong. You have to have a mailing list to work from, because you can't build your audience, and you have to perform regularly. There are a lot of dance groups when Dance Baltimore first started that wanted to dance with us, but one of the rules was if you don't have an ongoing annual program, if you can't tell me today at least one or two other times this year you're performing, then no, you can't dance. Because what good does it do for an audience member to see your performance, love it, and then can't ever see you again?
Right.
And they don't have a way. You don't have a website. They don't have any way of seeing you, or there's no contact.
Full package.
Right. And so a lot of artists aren't prepared in that way. They don't. They have their art ready, but they don't have
their business ready.
Right. And so, you know, that continuation, that is called cultivation.
Right.
You know, that's how you cultivate an audience, you cultivate donors, all of those kind of people.
So I have a special question. This may be a little controversial.
I love that.
AFRAM.
Okay, it's
the
controversial.
Heritage Festival, because that was an event in the city just as big as Artscape was. That's what it was. But we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange. We're going to answer that question because that is hot. But when we come back,
I want to know where you're going with that.
To the Artist Exchange radio show on BigExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. On the Road Theater Company presents Siblings, the story of a teenage prostitute who changes her life after helping two siblings avoid being murdered. The production will take place at Mount Zion United Methodist Church at 3050 Liberty Heights Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21215. Tickets are $25 at the door, $20 in advance. Ask about the patron discount. Get your tickets now by calling the box office at 410-466-1364. Curtain time is 7 p.m. sharp, Friday, July the 15th, and Saturday, July the 16th and the 23rd. For more information, go to www.otrtheater.org.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett Williams, the summer 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, beexposedradio.com.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, Plug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett, the 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. I'm here to announce that the young and talented new artist Chink just dropped her new mixtape, Purple Potion, which is now available on Spinrilla and SoundCloud. If you haven't listened to it already, definitely be sure to check it out. And while you're at it, be sure to follow Chink on Instagram at Chink_OTR, and to check out True to You Entertainment's website, truetoyouentertainment.weebly.com.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician. This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really? He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com on this Friday evening. It's been raining. It's breezy now. It's a little bit everything. I'm not going to complain because I just don't want that Baltimore heat wave. So I'm going to just let it be. Right. Just let it be at this. But we have your girl Cheryl joining us, letting us know what's hot in her city. I was asking her before we went to break about Artscape, and I mean not Artscape, AFRAM, or the Heritage Festival as it's called now. How can, in her opinion, we turn the Heritage Festival around and not so much even take it back to what it was, but push it forward and make it more, make it better. Just make it better. I just miss it because that was our festival.
It was.
I would like it to be fun. And part of it, too, is the fact that years ago, the city used to do a variety of ethnic festivals, and they were all done at Rash Field.
Okay.
You know? And so it was all in the same place, and every weekend it was a different one. And so this might be going way back. But okay, the looks on you all's faces like, when did that happen? You know. But I'm old,
I need to get some information on this.
But it was really great because every, you know, Rashfield's right down in there at the Inner Harbor, and you knew where you were going every weekend. So you could go to the Greek festival, the Italian festival, and then it would be the AFRAM, you know, whatever. And so they all were sort of presenting their culture. That was the focus. That was at least that's what it seemed. And everybody came to everybody's festival. So everybody was willing to celebrate everybody's. Now, because it's separate. And my understanding is that the residents of that area sort of complained about all that and got that changed. And I always thought that was not the best thing. So now all of the festivals are in their communities. So the Latino Festival was last weekend in Patterson Park, where the majority of Latino people live.
And
so
if you don't
live there, you're not going over there.
Right.
So and like you said, now AFRAM is sort of, you know, under the bridge, you know, and I don't really know what the purpose is. Is it to celebrate African American culture? Is it because the last time because I haven't gone in a while, but the last time that I went, there were a lot of people selling African clothing. That was the main thing I saw. I don't see a lot of local artists performing. I know a few do, but that's not promoted that much. I know that this year Common and I think Angie Stone and Mary, it's a lot of named people, but I don't hear of any of the local people. So it doesn't seem like it's celebrating
the city,
but the city or local artists or anything like that. So, and there's always a tent of social services. So it's sort of, go get your blood pressure taken and, that kind of thing.
Get your food stamps all at the same
Exactly.
time.
And that's not, I'm trying to have a good time here.
Right.
So, and when I did go to see the last show I wanted to see, it was on the parking lot, so you couldn't really sit down. So everybody is standing up, and it was packed. As opposed to Artscape, that has that great location with that hill.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you earlier, half the fun is claiming your space on the hill early enough. And
you do it before the sun go down.
Right. Try not to fall when you move from one place to the other. Last year with George Clinton was fabulous. That was, that was one of the biggest crowds I think that I've seen them have.
Yeah, it was back then.
Right, very diverse, and everybody was just there enjoying the funk like that's what it's supposed to be. And I don't get that same sense at AFRAM.
Like I see growth in Artscape, a tremendous growth, because it was not that many veins and
it's many blocks.
It's all the way up to North Avenue now. But I would like to see, and I think it's a company runs the AFRAM, but I would like to see, like you said, more of us, more local acts, more, and the big names. That's how we get out there. That's how most of the people decide to come. But still celebrating the city that it's in.
Right. I don't
culture.
Even if there's a private company running it, my understanding is that the city is still right, and so they would have to give them their direction and say it's your job to celebrate this or do that. But I don't. With Artscape, it's very clear, and not always that I love it, because to me sometimes they expand the definition of art a little bit too much.
Right.
And I see like a group of people walking in a line with tutus on and their hair and mohawks.
That's the millennials.
Right.
Now.
I don't know what art that is necessarily. That's just me. But I understand they're expanding the definition of art. Like I said, they included fashion, they include comedy, all of that is a part of installation. A lot of those installation works, it's a big old bunch of cigarette, packages, and that's art. I mean, again, for me, exactly. But I understand what you're trying to do.
Right.
See, I don't get that with AFRAM. I don't get that kind of celebration or definition of. You just can't say African American culture in a big what. I mean, we do a lot of stuff. So what culture are you? What aspects of the culture are you, showcasing?
I knew it wasn't last year when I went. I knew it wasn't what it was because I always go to the vendors first, exhibitors first, and it just was like a little shanty town, and I was
a shanty town.
I didn't know what to think. Like, this not gonna be good.
Because actually, when I went, I do remember that some people didn't have their tables set up.
Yeah.
And I know in putting together a program, for me, if you don't have, you have to be there at a certain time.
Yeah.
Right. You don't get to come in late because it looks ragged when you do that.
It's a real tag.
Right. Then you need to take those tables down. Don't leave up blank tables like that and have people in a tent. 3 tables have something on them and 4 are empty because it looks like they didn't take the time to come and so why should I be here? Whatever. But like I said, I just it's not an enjoyable. I think you might go just to say you went or to see what it's going to be, but I don't feel like I'm there having a good time necessarily.
Would you, if given the opportunity, because you've been so lucky, would you, if given the opportunity, take on that task of revamping it?
Let me explain one thing. I'm sorry. Let me put my finger down. I don't mean to be pointing at you. Okay. Opportunity is one thing.
Right.
Okay. And I will say, when I was younger, I took on most opportunities as they came to me. As you get older, you find out that opportunity, when you go to your landlord, he don't like that. The opportunity.
I had this opportunity.
Right. He can't deposit that. So, so it became who
you don't want to hear about.
No, they really don't. They really don't. So, the idea of it interests me, but it's financially that's a very big kind of project. But and I'm just an individual. I don't have a company necessarily, but I mean, I'm sure I can pull together a few folks and we can work, do something, work it out, change it.
At your events, I would go there if I knew a Cheryl was running it, because I would feel like as a child, that's what we did. I remember one year they tried to charge people, and they learned very quickly when that drove people turned around and left that you can't do that to the city. You can't. Don't pull something on the leg and not tell people.
Exactly. They tried that at the Arboretum with the jazz series one time. In the 5 years that I was doing it, 1 year they wanted to do something different, and they didn't have me do it, and they tried that, and people got extremely upset, and they called them so much. They called me back the next year and said, "Please, can you come back?" And
we made a mistake.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I mean, if someone offered me an opportunity like that, because I do think, again, just being given the opportunity to plan something like that. I can say one thing that I'd be interested in doing. Maybe the powers that be will hear this. I've brought it up before.
We're gonna start a hashtag.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've worked in DC in a couple of years, and for a couple of years I've planned. They do an event called the Mayor's Arts Awards, which is it's patterned after the Academy Awards, and they award their local artists. They award the people who support them, the companies that are supporters, emerging artists, and people who've been there for years. And it's a big to-do. Everybody's dressed up. The mayor is the host and all that. And I would be interested to see Baltimore do something like that. And I would love to plan something
on a
like
bigger
that.
scale.
Right.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to create that hashtag. Get that hashtag. Cheryl for Ephraim.
Oh, my God.
Start that up. Big
I want to help her promote what she wants to do, because I like that.
So we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Kinds of things together and make it more of a music. We tried to do that a little bit in Waverly.
Okay.
Was trying to have this annual music festival.
Do they have the space for it in Waverly?
Yeah, right there where the farmers market. They eventually started doing it, but for some reason they always do it after the farmers market's over. I'm like, do it while it's going on. Don't wait for the people to leave and then try to start up some music. It should go at the same time.
Because people come in there for a reason, and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. We got your girl Cheryl letting us know what's hot in the city. We have started a new hashtag, Cheryl for Ephraim.
Getting me in trouble.
We want to change. I really want to, if nothing else, I would love to at least for it to get the same attention that Artscape gets. And not taking anything from any of the other festivals that happen, but this one just seems to just be little by little. It's just, I want it to get to the point where the city feels it's a obligation or waste, and they just like, well, you know what, we're not doing it anymore. And then it just turns into a block party at some point, and then nothing. But I definitely want to see that happen. I'll be a stage manager if you need one. I'll help you pass out flyers if you need it.
This is recorded now. Believe me, I take everybody up on stuff when they offer it. Believe me.
I love doing stuff like that. That's how the Artist Exchange came to be, because I love arts, and I was one of them people that I always can find something to do in the city. And why can't you? People were moving away from Baltimore because there's nothing to do here. Well, where are you going?
And now I've had a lot of people, particularly artists from DC, who are moving to Baltimore, or who at least recognize how much is going on in Baltimore. I see that a lot. And either
and how
say
cost
that to me,
effective it is.
So
right.
So I mean, and even with Dance Baltimore, when we first started, it was hard to find dance in Baltimore if you were interested. I mean, every once in a while, Alvin Ailey might come to town, Dance Theater of Harlem, but it wasn't a regular thing. And, so that used to concern me, that there was really not a lot of dance going on here, and why would that be the case? And I remember when we first started, it was not the plan to start an organization. Again, something just came to me. I went to, I happened to say to a funder, there's no dance here. We should really have more dance. She said, and I said, I'd love to talk to people about it. She said, well, why don't you use my office? Call a meeting, use my office. So we did. And about 40 people in the dance community showed up. And the people who ran the Morris Mechanic Theater, which just got demolished, I think maybe last year or something, they heard about the meeting. And they said, called me on the phone and said, look, we're going to give you the theater at no cost to do a dance event.
Wow.
If you could put it together in 3 months. You ain't got to tell me that twice. Okay. Pulled that thing together, and it seated 1,300 people, and we filled it up.
I loved. I remember the last time I ever was there, I was in high school, and they were doing 42nd Street there. And it was an underground theater, and it was just, I never knew that was there. So it took my high school theater company taking me there. And I was like, this was a theater? I never knew that was a theater.
And
remarkable.
And when we did that show, the man who was in charge of the theater, he was sitting next to me. As soon as the show started, he just looked at me and said, you can have the theater for 3 more years.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, at no cost. He said the only thing, the show has to be free. So we had to work that out.
Okay.
But it turned out that they were going to close the Mechanic, and they were building the Hippodrome. So we got to use the Hippodrome for the next 2 years at no cost. So you just have to be in the right, like I said before, be prepared, be ready, know who to call to pull it together. Yeah.
So how do you think we can better connect the arts community here? Because it's thriving, it's going places, but we find that it's a lot more outside sources coming here, taking heed of the resources we have here. But a lot of the people who have been doing it for years, the Woolworks, the arena players, they're getting on board, but they're being pushed to the outskirts of it.
Well, one thing, I think people have to start reinventing the wheel. Everybody acts like they're doing something for the first time, and there are people, like you said, been doing this for years. So find the people who've already been doing it and work with them. And I think partnerships and collaborations are fabulous things. There are organizations like the UB Blake Center, and they have a program, Resident Artists, where they have certain arts groups who come, and if they do some programming at the UB Blake Center, then they can have office space and performance space and things like that.
And they're awesome there. We do the Actors Playground.
Right, Miss Tracy Jiggets.
Yes, and it really is. I found places like that, people don't know that they exist.
That's right.
And we've been able to take advantage of them in a good way, of course. But you have these things in your city and you don't utilize them. College, the 2 HBCUs that we have here that are remarkable places.
Right, have great performance spaces.
Exactly. And we don't take heed to it or advantage of it.
And, when you need money, people want to try to figure out, pay out of their pocket and be cheap with this. Get a grant. I mean, nonprofit organizations can apply for grant funding, but individuals can as well. And you can also have a fiscal agent. If you're not a nonprofit organization, you can connect with somebody who is, and they'll do it in their name. They accept the money in your name.
Right.
And you just get to you can apply for a grant, might get $10,000 and have your fiscal agent take the money, but it's for you, and pay people, to do what needs to be done. Rent the site that you need to have, But this starting at square one all the time, and there are too many organizations who've been doing too many things, but it's a give and take. Don't try to just take from an organization. Give something back, and be creative about what that can be.
And find organizations that match your mission.
Right.
And the things that you want to do, opposed to just finding somebody who has the 501c3 and you guys just don't match up at all, and then it wind up being a burnt bridge of some sorts. That takes me to my next question. As far as networking and building that following, how would you say we could, as artists, start communicating with each other, engaging with each other, so partnerships are a possibility, and not just I'm doing my thing and you do your thing, and it's 8 different things going on that could be one unit.
Well, there are a lot of organizations that set up things like again, the UB Blake Center does a annual open house, professional open house for artists, and so you can come in, and that's what it's for. So you can meet each other and know what each other is doing. And there are different sessions so you can talk about what projects you're working on and what you're looking for and things like that. The Maryland State Arts Council, they used to do these workshops all around the state. I used to be one of the moderators. And they'd help you out with how to put a board of directors together or how to create a budget or whatever. And we would get maybe 3 or 4 people sometimes. You know, what they were telling you was really important information, and the people who would be there were good people to me. So for no other reason, come for that. Even Dance Baltimore, we've done events, we call them a dance summit, where we ask the dance community to just come together so we can meet each other and know. And in the beginning, we would get a high turnout. Now people tell me, oh, we're rehearsing that day. Artists will tell you that all the time. They're rehearsing. At some point, artists need to stop rehearsing.
And go meet each other.
Right, and handle their business.
Engage,
you know?
Because at some point, and like we were saying earlier, you've rehearsed. Your show is ready. If you were ready, you're ready. You don't have to get ready, but you have to engage with your audience. We just expect, because we are so awesome, people are supposed to show up. No, they're not. Yeah. It's and their really, choice to spend their money
for their time. Right. You know, and it's not just other art shows, because sometimes you look and say, well, we have a show tonight, but so-and-so had a show too, and so-and-so had a show. That's just some of the competition. People could have stayed home and watched their big screen TV. Right. They didn't have to come out there to see you. People
and there's probably 5 other shows going on just where you had that show at.
I mean, there's so many other things people can do, whether it's related to shows or not. So you have to, some kind of way, let people know that this, and the one thing I find the most intriguing about the arts anyway, and particularly when I used to work at the Hippodrome, and I would walk through the theater like when it was empty, and it was just such a wonderful feeling to be in there. But for me, there's something about knowing that what I'm going to see is the first and only time that's going to happen. That's the thing about live art. It's never, now they can do the same show every night, but what you see is going to be unique to that. And I remember this one time, The Lion King was there, and they were rehearsing it, and I was just walking through the theater. And so I'm just listening to them, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, what I'm seeing right now will never be seen again. I'm getting to see just this. And when I see this show this weekend, it's going to be different another time, and it'll be unique. And so there's an excitement about that, or it can be, you know. And so you have to make people know that. So that's why they're coming out to see it. And there could be any number of reasons why we do that. There's one event that we do, Dance Baltimore does a community dance workshop. We do free classes for 5 weeks, and then we put on a show. And I'm always amazed that people will come out, learn something, who've never danced before, learn something and be willing to get on the stage and do it in front of their family and friends. I would personally never do that, but I'm amazed that they do that, okay?
That's the craziness of
it is, you know,
it's like, what? Really, you're gonna give me a chance to perform?
I know. They are. Right? And one time, you know, we interviewed them and asked, and almost all of them said, this was something for me. This was something that and a lot of times we might get 120 people who sign up to do this. And the majority of them are women, age, I would say maybe 40 to 55, something like that. And it's their time to do this. This is not about my kids. This is not about, you know, anything else. It's just me being able to do something for me. And so they see an excitement in that. And they know this is their one time, what is that, one night only from Dream Girl? You know, what? See, I'm a break in the song. See, almost had me for a minute. All right, see? There you go. There you go. So, you know, you have
this week.
You have to tap into that. And that's the excitement that would make somebody come out to something, to your event.
And
as
tell
opposed
somebody
to something
and
else.
bring somebody out. Real quick, I'm going to answer this question. We got a couple minutes. You talk a lot about getting grants to do programming. How important is it not to base your life on a ticket sale?
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. You can, grant funding is one thing. That's one way to go. There are organizations who, I think Arena Players, for example, they're going into like their 58th year, if I'm not mistaken.
53rd.
Okay. And
63rd, I'm sorry.
Right, 60, yeah, something like that. And for the longest, they never wrote for grants. You know, they did everything just on ticket sales. So sometimes grant funding can make you a little dependent. So, you know, if it's something that works for you, try that. You don't have to do that.
Right.
I like doing free events. So that sort of requires grant funding. So I'll look for a way to, and you can mix it up. I mean, it might be grant funding. You might do a raffle. You might have vendors. All that income together can make this possible to be free. But whatever it is, however you get the money so that your event is funded properly.
Right.
You know, don't do it on the cheap. People can tell when things are not, you know, they came out of their house for this. You know, they spent their gas money.
Right.
You know, they look for a parking space. They took time. So give them a quality product. And it's not just what happens on the stage. It's their experience from the time they leave their house to the time they get to your event, see it, and leave. You know, so so the grant money, that's one way to go about it. But ticket sales, and be realistic. Don't charge $35. My general rule is I don't try to charge anything over what a movie would cost. You know, unless it's I work with a couple of live bands, and one band is 14 people in the band. Okay, they do a tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire. They call it Ingratitude. That's a big show, so we can't charge $10 for that. So that's going to be a little bit bigger.
Right.
But generally, you know, charge what you have to charge. But there are a lot of ways to fund something. It doesn't have to all be ticket sales.
Right. That's a really good point. We're going to come back after this last break, and we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com with your girl, Cheryl, letting us know what's hot in our city today. Hashtag Cheryl forever.
Oh my gosh. He is serious about that.
I'm going to put that on the bill. I'm going to write that in.
Oh, wow.
I just want to see.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett Williams, the summer 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com. The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for one school year. Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@thefashionumbrella.org.
This Exchange Radio Show here live on
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
This forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So they didn't even get the out-of-state vendors to come back this year. So that was like my ticket. So I want to go this weekend, but I don't want it to be a disappointment.
I just remember it too. It's always a whole lot of folks.
Yeah.
You know.
And it wasn't like that last. When I say it was empty, for somebody like Stephanie Mills, it was still empty compared to like before, where it would be like shoulder to shoulder in there. But we have come back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Hashtag Cheryl for Ephraim.
He is mad.
She gonna call us one day.
No, I'm gonna give you a finder's fee if they actually call me out. Okay, if I get a call about this from the city,
I'm just saying. I'm there.
All right.
I'm willing. Just put me to work. I got you.
All right.
I'll set up the table.
Both very hard workers.
But we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, live on BeExposedRadio.com. We got your girl Cheryl in the building with us. First of all, give us the information on how to contact you for your various jobs and hats that you wear.
Well, I've sort of told you things throughout my career. All that stuff I'm not doing now.
Right.
So, because there was a time when I was just so busy and people were, you're the busiest girl out there. And I was like, you know what? I am tired. So I had to sort of calm some of that down. But you can find me on Facebook all the time. What's Hot with Your Girl Cheryl. And also the website is yourgirlcheryl.net. And because I have a magazine now, a digital magazine, and you can see it on your cell phone or on a computer. And you can find that on the website. Or I send it, I just e-blast it to people, but you can see it on the website as well. But those two places are usually, and yourgirlcheryl@gmail.com is the email address. But people have brought me in to either plan events, market the events, fund the events, any of those kinds of things. And so that's right now what I do, and primarily in music and dance, and a lot with music. Like I said, I do book some bands and things like that. So
are there any things that you see in this DMV area, or just in general, that you want to attach yourself to, or you want to work with? Or
actually, I've worked with a lot of folks over the years. I think I mentioned to you, I've worked with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. They have a program called Orchids, where they give instruments to urban kids at certain elementary schools and give them instruction throughout their elementary school. And so I was the director of that for a couple of years. I've worked with the Baltimore Museum of Art, Maryland State. I mean, really a lot of, as well as smaller organizations as well. So I've really sort of worked with a lot of groups. So it's not any organization per se here, but I like doing projects. I'm not a big one for working 9 to 5.
Right.
I do it, but that's not my big thing. I sort of like working projects, and when it's over, it's over, And if you want me back, we'll come back, but we don't have to. So, no, I mean, it's just the project. What I find interesting, that's what I like to work on.
What do you think about the renovation of the Blacks in Wax Museum?
Oh, definitely.
The expansion. I'm not even saying the renovation.
Actually, I worked on that too.
Wow.
Yeah, but I did part of the presentation to help with some funding. But anyway, no, I think it's a great idea. I mean, from the first time I went there, I met Dr. Martin. I'm very impressed by where it is, and that it has succeeded in that location. I mean, it's not in a harbor. It's not anywhere where visitors or tourists. And I've been in California and had somebody bring up, if you're on a plane and somebody says, "Oh, where are you from?" Baltimore. Oh, that Blacks and Wax Museum. So it's definitely, people all around the country, it's there.
It's been forever, for as long as I can remember.
But it definitely needs to be expanded. It definitely needs to be upgraded. But that's a major undertaking, and I would just like to see it really done the right way, so that it doesn't fail.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with the Reginald Lewis Museum over the years, and that's a big effort as well. And I don't really see a lot of us going there. I don't see a lot of people going there, and they should, So there's got to be a plan to keep people coming through, and actually, we did some dance when Dance Theory of Harlem exhibit was there.
I remember
our organization did some dance classes there, and we had like 80 people show up to take a salsa class or a hip hop class, and what else did we do? Hot hula class. Okay. So again, collaborations, just work with groups to build your audience. And, and I think a lot of the existing destinations that we have could be very successful, could be more successful if we just work together more.
So I'm a big fan of the social media groups, especially Facebook, because it gives you a chance to really find out what's going on, the stuff that's not at the top of the newspaper list and stuff like that. And I look at your page a lot, what's hot with your girl, and it's a lot of, you allow people to post their events in there and showcase what they're doing. How did you decide to do that? Was that just your form of what you do on social media, or?
Well, once I decided to be on Facebook and decided that for most of the things that I do, that would be a great promotional tool as opposed to Twitter. Okay. My audiences tend to be over 40. And I don't find a lot of over 40 people who tweet. I've been working on it. I think I got 49 followers. I know
I'm not doing. I'm just 33. It's not.
I'm trying, but it's just.
Really, I got too much to say.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I'm not good with that kind of thing. You can't limit me like that.
60 characters.
Yeah, it's a little hard. So, but I keep an Instagram account and a Twitter account, but that's not really my focus. The Facebook is really, I think, more where my audience would be. Right. And I can't find everything. I try to give it a real good effort to find all the different events that are going on, but it helps when other people put in their things. The thing is keeping people on point, because people will try to sneak in there. Don't sell your sunglasses here. That one really, every time I see that Ray-Ban, I just go crazy. So I check all the time and delete things that are not on point. Don't try to sell things here. It's about live entertainment. Don't come in and say, let's congratulate so-and-so. That's fine, but that's not someplace I can go. So,
So what's the in your words, what's the overall point of the group? We go to another break. You got to keep paying bills. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with your girl, Cheryl. Hashtag Cheryl Flag Friend. That's what I'm going to put that on the post.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know you're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org.
And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon. Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Packages, and you, based on how much you want to spend, you had certain options that you could choose. You know, so it sort of went like that. So.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. We're just picking the brain of Miss Cheryl, your girl Cheryl, and figuring out all the things that she is and all the things that she likes. We're starting a new hashtag, Cheryl for AFRAM. We want you to get behind
You were starting the hashtag. Don't have my colleagues thinking I came on this radio station and lobbied. You know.
It's going to be in the
Put
newspaper.
that on me now.
Cheryl takes over AFRAM.
Put that on me. Ricky.
But we're willing to work. We're willing to work. Put us to work. I'm a good stage manager.
I can work. I can move chairs and talk to people.
Pass out some flyers.
Right. I can do that.
But we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I want to learn a little bit more about the dance company. Okay. All that you do, how it started, and where is it going?
Well, it's a dance organization. We're not. We're sort of like an umbrella company, umbrella organization to the existing dance schools, companies, individual choreographers, instructors, things like that. We develop more for adults because when you're a kid, I think I started dance class when I was 3, and it's a whole system. I mean, you can start taking classes when you're little and go all the way up through your high school. And you start in September, like you go to school, you do your recital at the end of the year, you buy your parents buy your tutus and all that, and you never have to worry about selling tickets because everybody's coming to see their kids perform. So mom, pop, grandparents, all, so that's all taken care of. With adults, that's not so much the case.
Nope.
Half the time
Jerry
you don't
from
even
the
want,
office is not coming to see you.
Exactly. Sometimes you don't want her to come.
No, I don't want
you saw yourself and you don't want anybody else to see this, but you enjoy doing it. So adults are different, and they're not going to be professionals someday. They're already 35 years old, so they're just doing it because they enjoy it. So there wasn't anybody doing that. So that's one of the reasons that we had started. And the audience for dance here was very segmented. I had lived in DC, and people who love dance go to all kinds of dance in DC.
Mhm.
You can go to the Kennedy Center and see the same person you saw at Dance Place.
Right.
And one can be at a ballet and another could be at African dance.
Mhm.
They all, here that's not the case. People who like Sankofa Dance Theater only go to see that.
Mhm.
People who like,
That's
Deep Vision
unfortunate.
only go to see that. And so we wanted to affect that a little bit more. So when we started, after they just donated this space to us, he said, okay, well, now we have a space. We don't even have an organization. We just did the one show, the one time. And in that one show, we tried to show the diversity of dance that's in Baltimore. So we had East Indian dance, we had hip hop, we had, I don't think if we had aerial dance that time. I'm not sure, but we had a little bit of everything. Ballet, tap, whatever. And so that was sort of the point. I remember going to the Sun paper at the time, and this was before social media was as big as it is. So your promotion was the Sun paper.
Right.
You had to get in the Sun paper to get any kind of audience at all.
Recognition, yeah.
And the Sun paper told us straight out, nobody cares about dance in Baltimore. We're not going to print anything about it because nobody really cares about that.
Mhm.
So once we sort of sold out the Mechanic, we said, well, clearly they do. We sold it out in 2 weeks. I mean, it was a free event, but people had to call to get a ticket. And so they sort of paid attention after that a little bit. So it sort of showed that people really are interested. So it was more than just a one-time dance thing. I mean, we made it more like a big dance festival where we had workshops in the morning and award shows and all that. And then at the end was a big concert of all these different dance companies. So like I said, so we try to serve as an umbrella, and we're trying to build the audience. So most of the shows we do have more than one dance company performing, have at least 3, and they're very different so that they share audience. So you get to see, and we don't tell people what order is coming in, so you can't come in and see the group you want to see and leave,
That's how they do the children dance, so you never tell them the order.
No, that's not fair. If I sat through watching your thing, you're going to sit here and watch my child. It could be 9 o'clock at night when you're going to stay here and watch my child. Okay. So, so the dance community has been able to build an audience for a lot of, so now we've been selling out shows. We just did a show a couple weeks ago. We do an annual show called Ageless Grace, and they're all dancers over the age of 40.
Okay.
The oldest dancer this year was 78.
Oh, wow.
And tap. And some of these are former professional dancers, and some are just community dancers, people who just like to dance. And then, we've done just straight concerts, just showcasing the artistry of the people who are here. But how
do you choose which acts you put on?
It depends on what it is. If it's like an Ageless Grace show, sometimes there are people I might just ask directly. I try to go see a lot of work. And as I see something, if I think it's really something the audience would like to see, I'll just ask somebody, would you be interested? Sometimes people can ask us. They can just email us and say, I'd love to perform. Can I? And we'll let you. If you send us a videotape or, like to just know what
Quality
we're
work.
showing.
Quality work.
Right, exactly. So if it's, so it's very open. So
and the theme changes from year to year, or
well, depending on what kind of like some shows like Ageless Grace is an annual show, so that's going to come up each year.
So there are various shows throughout the year,
right? There's some shows that are annual, and then there's some that we might do just something special or something unique. Usually, like I said, Artscape might ask us to do something, or like let's say when Michael Jackson died, there might have been someone who wanted us to do something in tribute to Michael Jackson. So we might have done a show that used all Michael Jackson music, or it could be anything, or it could just be a show, just a showcase, and we'll showcase 3 leading artists in this area, and it could be all modern work or a mixture, things like that. So.
And the longevity of this career that you've been able to create, what has been the most challenging and the most rewarding part of it?
That's very easy. The most challenging is being able to survive on the amount of money that this pays.
But you get creative with that.
No, it does. It goes up and down, and it depends on what you're doing. I will say when the economy the national economy sort of tanked, it did have an effect. But there have been times, like I said, where I've done a show, and just I think I'm trying to think it was something at the Hippodrome we did. And just because I thought it was a very interesting thing. And after it was over, and I donated my time to do it. And after it was over, like a month later, I just get a phone call and somebody said, the person there said, that was a really great show you did. We really enjoyed it. And we know that you volunteered your time, but, we want to pay you for that. That was really nice.
Oh.
So we're going to send you this check for $1,500.
Won't
he do it?
Every once in a while, things like that just happen. But, sometimes when you're passionate about things, you do it because you just want it done and you want it done in a certain way. So you don't always pay attention to the finances. And I think when I was younger, I did a lot of that. As I've gotten older, I realized that it sometimes, right.
And being someone who follows somebody, follows Troy Burton, I've always, and he said to me personally, and I've heard him say it so many times, don't chase the money.
No.
Position yourself and prepare yourself so the money finds you.
Right. And now it's more of that. So people hire me to do what it is. And if I just happen to like something, and I want to do it, I find a way to get it funded, or get it paid for. So you asked me what was the
most rewarding part of it.
And the most rewarding is people's appreciation of it. People I don't even know. I think that's just a really, the
ones you don't see watching.
Yeah, and like I said, even though people will, your girl show, it's a nice, heartwarming kind of thing. And part of the brand is that I want people to feel like I'm the girl. If you're a woman or a man, I'm the girl you can hang out with. I'm the one that's going to tell you what's going on. It's not, you don't have to worry about your man. I'm not trying to do that.
Right.
I'm not coming to party.
Right. We girlfriends, we just hanging. So that's sort of the idea. And that's sort of how people take it, particularly when they come to the jazz shows and things like that. And I get a lot of emails from the website and from the magazine and things like that. And people will just say, thank you so much for doing this, or thank you for letting us know what's going on around town. The broadcast on WEAA, it comes on Wednesday through Friday, 5 times a day. And it just tells you in 2 minutes what shows you can go to. There's a play about B.B. Winans in D.C. Tonight. Belladonna, all women's funk group, is playing at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Supper Club. Whatever
stuff we wouldn't normally
right, you
hear
may not
about.
know, but I go to these places. I try to recommend places that I go to that I know the food is good, the service is good, you'll have a good time. If I
we got feed Miss Cheryl. That's how we got feed.
Well, I want you to have a good time. Okay. I'm not going to send you somewhere and
the atmosphere.
Right, and I had a band playing in I think it was Gaithersburg or something like that. It was an outdoor festival for 4th of July a couple years ago. And when I got there, these 2 ladies come to me and said, we came because we heard you tell it on the radio. You told us to come, so we came. We had never heard of this group before. We don't even know where we are, but you told us to come. So
they trust
that was a responsibility. And luckily, they had a fabulous time. Does he want you to cut? Because I can see
he's cleaning the wall. That's Marty. He's working. He's working. Okay. But one of the things is there anything that you want to try or you want to do that you haven't gotten a chance to do? And all the things that you've gotten to do, is it something that you want to try? Like, are you a secret opera singer? Or do you dream to be on the stage at Arena Players?
No, absolutely not. Not at all. No, I'm not an actor at all. That one I'm not. My major in school originally was piano, so I play the piano.
Oh, wow.
And I play a couple of instruments, and I sort of want to go back to some of that. I sing a little bit, but no, not really. I mean, I wanted to actually try. I told somebody this the other day. I wanted to try stand-up comedy for a while because life was just that funny. Okay, it was coming at me like that, and I went and looked at some open mic kind of things. I don't think I have the timing for it just yet, but
you
originally,
gotta get out there.
Yeah, but originally my major eventually was writing, and so professional and creative writing, and I've been going back to that just lately. And the magazine now has given me a chance to go back to that. I mean, I've published articles in Jazz Times Magazine, Downbeat, things like that, and it was a while back. So I want to go back to writing articles, but also I haven't done fiction since I was actually in school, so I'm trying to go back to that. So the magazine has actually helped me. Actually, I just set up an interview today with Bobby Caldwell. I don't know if you know who that is. He's sort of an older artist, but he was sort of back in the day. I did an interview with Regina Bell a couple of months ago. So, and those are things I used to do a while back. I think I had interviewed Patti LaBelle and, a lot of folks back in the day. And I'd like to go back to that a little bit. So.
Do you like the interview process, or?
I like the interview part is okay. I like writing it.
Okay.
I like because you might go into it with a certain image of somebody, and then after you do it, then when you write it, you realize after you do the interview, you realize that's not what they were like at all, and so you wind up writing something a little different. And
wow.
Yeah, so
is it? So those are the things that you want to get back into. Will there be a book anytime soon?
Probably. I've been actually. I just had written a grant for the UB Blake Center on to do a project about writing. And
so the creative writing workshop. Okay.
Right. And it was
that
sort
we missed the first one.
Yeah, and it really was good. It was sort of a response to the uprising in Baltimore last year, and the idea that there are a lot of area writers who are best-selling authors who have written on urban challenges. So Wes Moore was one, Marita Golden was one, and D. Watkins. He's going to speak on July 12th at the UB Blake Center, and his book is called The Beast Side: Living and Dying.
I like
America's
honesty.
Right.
I like when, even if you're writing fiction, I like when the writer is honest.
Right.
And has that heavy hand and not afraid to say things.
Right. And that's actually what the workshop was about, not being afraid to write. And so the idea was that as a response to this uprising, a lot of people were revolting because they're not being heard. They have something they want to say. So let's figure out a way you can say it.
A constructive way.
Right. So the workshop is supposed to help people say it. And then there's a publishing workshop after that. And so if you're interested in publishing your book in a traditional way, you can do that. Or self-publishing. Paul Coates, who owns Black Classic Press and BCP Digital Printing, they print a lot of self-published authors in the area. Well, actually across the country. So if you're interested in publishing your own book, he's going to do a workshop on that and teach you how to do that. And that's at the UB Blake Center July 30th.
So what would your book be on? What was that first memoir? Been planner.
I've been hurt. You know, I got man trouble, so I'm writing about all the men who hurt my feelings. You know,
boy, watch out.
That's the thing. There's so many things I want to write about. I'm not exactly sure yet. And that was part of my issue going to the workshop. And actually, Marita Golden, she made a real interesting point. She said, a lot of times it's not that you don't know what to write about. It's that you're afraid to commit to the writing. So you give yourself this indecision. And that way you don't have to do it. Once you decide, once you are willing to write it, you won't be indecisive about it. So it's not that you're afraid. It's not that you have too many things to write about. It's that you're afraid to actually do it.
And being this multifaceted artist and woman, what have you learned about yourself and being able to sustain this for so long? Outside of the money aspect.
Actually, I hope this doesn't sound bad, but I think hearing you ask it like that, I think it's that I have been braver than I thought I would have been as a young person. Like I said, I was a very timid young person. And the one thing I did know when I got older is I didn't want to work in a 9-to-5 structured setting. I knew that. I wanted to do something that I just enjoyed. So I wanted my work to be my life. So I would I would do it all the time. So I wouldn't have a time when this starts and this stops. And in doing that, I've worked for myself most of my adult life. There have been a couple times that I've taken a job, maybe a part-time job or something that was just interesting to do. Like the orchids job at the BSO was just interesting. So I did that 9-to-5 for 2 years, but it really wasn't 9-to-5. You were in and out and all around the community, And now that I have a younger sister, I have 3 sisters, but I have a younger sister and she has a daughter and my older sister has a daughter. And knowing that they look at me in a way that they seem impressed that I work for myself. My youngest niece, she used to always tell the kids at her school that I was famous, and that I'm like, what are you talking about?
You really have a personality in the city, and that's larger than what people.
I would go to pick her up, and all the kids are looking at me like, But I think because I could pick her up in the middle of the day and we could do things. I think she has admired, and that has always made me feel proud that. And it makes her, I think, she's a more independent person. She's 22 now.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with hashtag Cheryl, fat friend, your girl Cheryl, when we come back here on the Artist
I'm
Exchange
going to call
Radio
Randy
Show.
Vega as soon as we get off the air.
What?
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shout-outs, to interviews, and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, beexposedradio.com.
This is the mother of...
The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for 1 school year. Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@fashionumbrella.org.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
The house.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
The happy hour is taken over. Pretty much. And I talked lately. We kick Monty out for a day. We're taking over.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
But we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Today's topic was being more creating that following and not being afraid to jump out there and do what it is that you want to do, but be prepared, be consistent, and definitely prepare. And that's what I've been hearing from Ms. Cheryl today. And I wanted, is there anything that you want to say to, say a young person that wants this artist life, that has no idea what the bumps and the curves are going to look like, but what can you speak to them and prepare them for to keep them going and keep them motivated, even though sometimes get that little valley life happens to all of us, but how can you motivate them to just keep going?
Well, I would think, first of all, that you're not alone. I mean, everybody, the community of artists is huge, whether they're national or the local people, and working with others, or having that connection. I think it's, having done a lot of things at Arena Players, I think it's really interesting to see how, I have a sister who worked with their youth theater, and I've seen those kids who were in the youth theater when she was working there. Now they're older, they've graduated college, but they're still together. They're still friends. They still communicate, they still work together. They do a show together periodically, those kinds of things. So, finding that group that you can still connect with. I'm a big proponent of artists working with a management person or working with someone. I think you should know about contracts and funding and all that kind, but not really be the one who does it. If you're an artist, do your art. Let somebody else do the administrative part. If
know what it is,
but have somebody else really, because that can take a lot of time. and research the resources that are available to you. They really, organizations like the Maryland State Arts Council or Baltimore Office of Promotion in the Arts, there's always government agencies that do things, state level, city level. But then there are a lot of just nonprofit organizations that have all kinds of resources, from the UB Blake Center to the BSO. I mean, they're just go on their websites and see what they're offering. Greater Baltimore Cultural Alliance, they're another one. They offer all kinds of workshops and just connections that help you know what resources are available. So definitely take advantage of all of those things. So
I see what I see now is a lot of young people who, it's a lot of arrogance and just, I don't know. It's 5 other things like that out there in the city, and I'm gonna create my own instead of, and I've seen stuff get duplicated, like literally duplicated, because it's an arrogance. I don't want to do it with that person, so I'm just gonna create mine over here. I remember being a student artist, a teaching artist, probably like 12 years ago, and there was only a couple groups around, and then all of a sudden, this person who worked over there went and started their own program, and then these 2 people went and started their own program, and then one of those people went and started, and it just created this thing where it was awesome because now schools had options that afforded them the ability to bring arts into a school system that had eliminated it. But it was the same thing, because I remember what I got paid 12 years ago is not what you're getting paid today. And it's totally drastic. But not that competition is a bad thing, but you're not listening and looking at what is out there. So you're assuming what the audience wants instead of doing the research and realizing what is needed. But you got 8 things over here, and you want to create the 9th thing and wonder why the funding is not good.
And that is the point, doing the research. That's the part I don't see some young people doing. And there is a certain arrogance. I had a young lady say to me one time about in a dance kind of gathering, she started talking about the DIY movement, and she kept saying that that's what she was doing and her friends were doing, as if that's not what I was doing. I'm like, little girl, let me tell you something. You know?
And say it like that, because they hear it.
Right. I mean, I might be older, but this was definitely a do-it-yourself. Nobody gave us money, and some of the things that were given to us were given because we proved that we knew how to do some things. And so there are people who have things. Connect with people who have something. Don't always work with people who don't have something. And actually, one of my
broke friends.
I know, really, one of my mentors, he's was a successful business person in the area, and he told me a long time ago that he said Black people always want to give people something. Always want to give something for free. He said if the point of business is to make money, that's what you do. If you're in business, make money. Once you make your money, then you give back. You can't give back when you don't have anything. So don't try to do everything for the community when you don't have anything. Let the people who have do that, and you build up, and then you can give back. And that's an interesting point. So
business first,
right? So handle your business and get in a position to give and to share and all that kind of thing.
Well, you'll always be grassroots. Right. You'll always be, an organization that does not have. Well, you won't be an organization because you can't afford to be an organization.
Right. And you have to identify those people in those organizations that do have. Why would you not work? I mean, the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra is the biggest arts organization in the state. So they have more resources than anybody. And I mean, I'm not trying to have everybody run over there right now and, ask for a job or something, but there are times when they do projects and they're looking for the community to work with, and they're not going to really know who to go to. So, sometimes you might, I think they did a women's festival one time about 2 or 3 years ago. And they needed, women, they were looking for women in all kinds of diverse cultures and that could add to it. If anybody had just researched it, they could have gone there and participated.
So this has been an awesome conversation. I've learned so much, and a lot that I've already knew about your organization and the things that you did. I've still learned so much more from it. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Well, I appreciate the invitation. I really do. Sometimes I'm confused. I'm worried about seeming like I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's not that. Like I said, I was trying to
You're
talk
artist.
about, everything over the years. But I am try to stay focused in what I work on.
So let us know what you have coming up, any events or things that you want to let us know about.
Well, right now we're because the summer because the jazz series is not happening. The dance, we're doing a lot of the dance flash mobs. We're working on that. The Prince tributes, and so that's going to be at Artscape, and they're doing a special tribute to Prince on the Friday night. So it's a big party on that Friday night. So anyone who wants to come and learn the routine can come to the UB Blake Center at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Also on Wednesday at 7 up in Mount Vernon, we're going to do an outdoor class. And then as the season starts, right now I'm doing a lot of things with the UB Blake Center. So we have some programs, trying to do a video production program for kids for the fall. And there's a adult and youth choir called the Urban Chorale, or Urban Choral Society, I'm sorry. But Dance Baltimore exists as an annual program. This will be our 14th year, I believe. And so if you're looking to take any kind of dance class, we do everything, all kinds of dance styles. That'll start back up in September. And like I said, I work with a couple of bands that I book, so look for Motown and More. We do a Motown show around the area. And we're at the Birchmere. And also another tribute band is One to Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're performing Sunday at Murphy Fine Arts Center. But they're also doing this show at the Birchmere with the Motown group, and together it's called MoFire. And so this will be the third year at the Birchmere. They've sold that out for 2 years in a row. And so it's a little bit of a lot of different things.
So I'll look through the What's Hot with Your Girl, and I'll share a lot of those events in the Artist Exchange so we can know what's going on in the city. So
the magazine is the big thing right now. So I'm going to send you the link. It's a long link. So I'll send you that, or you can go to my website and just click on where it says, and it's the magazine that just turns the pages for you, and you can read all about and see and hear. Yeah, because it's a digital magazine.
This has been the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BigExposedRadio.com. We're going to go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
And then we'll come right back here at 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and be more of the Artist Exchange. So don't forget, get some sleep, and then wake up and roll over and turn your tune into the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Taking a nap because I wore you out.
All right, it was a lot. It was good to know that. Hashtag Cheryl for Ed Friend. See you later.
Thank you.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
everybody. Welcome to the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Miss Be Inspired. Hey, family out there on YouTube. You guys, we are live on YouTube, too.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Good evening. It's the Happy Hour Radio Show. It is Thursday, the best day of your week, the best 2 hours of your day. It's your girl, Mecca. Give it to you straight, no chaser.
Oh, and the shade has entered the building.
The palm tree has...
It's so dry here. Ain't a drop of alcohol.
Oh my God! We see who's an alcoholic in the flesh of the station. It's Mr. Carl, because I tried it. Monty,
shady ass.
It's Mr. Monty. He's gonna help us out until libation comes.
Oh,
but anyway,
it's on its way.
He said maybe I'll say some more.
Yeah.
Right. You can find me on IG at Mecca_Dawn1, and I got my lovely co-host here.
It's Tina Yagani. Make sure to check me out on IG at Persia_Glam. Follow the show at the Happy Hour Radio Show on Facebook, and make sure to check us out on the Happy Hour _show on IG. And this shady palm tree over here.
Y'all want to change that? Y'all want that meaning for that line to be underscrolled? It's going to be scored for the rest of his life.
It's not going to change no matter how much we try to change it.